Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game.
This is my favorite video now, especially now that the Colts is doing pretty good. They got that on the signs now, Sean. Playoffs,
right?
Let's go.
Yo, so let's first get into these teams clinched playoffs berths recently. The 11-3 and number one in the AFC North and number one in the AFC, the Baltimore Ravens with their win over Jacksonville. San Francisco at number one in the NFC West and is now number one in the NFC at 11-3.
Just a quick plug. Those two teams play each other next Sunday.
Ooh.
Or next Monday.
That is true.
The Ravens and the 49ers play each other.
Oh, yeah. Philly clinched it last week. They currently are up 10-3 against Seattle. Dallas somehow still clinched it, even though they lost. I'm not exactly sure.
It was that Panthers, because the Panthers beat Atlanta, it put us and the Eagles in automatically once that 1 o'clock game hit.
Wow. Well, there you go. That makes sense. And let's move on down the list. Let's start on our side. Let's start in the NFC. The Detroit Lions are the 3rd seed. They put in that work against Denver. Wasn't even close in that game. And I'm glad for them because it looks like they're trying to get back on track.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely trying to get back on track. They look really good. But, I ain't too concerned with them.
No. And a team you should be concerned with, the 7-7 Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Man.
Right now, that's the team.
Baker's coming to bake, ain't he? Baker's been baking.
Oh, he has. The Baker's been getting it done. And look, I was skeptical of him coming from what he did last year and the last couple years, but he's having a real resurgence, man. I love that he's getting his opportunity.
Yes.
What up, Scott? Go Rams. Absolutely. Yo, the Minnesota Vikings are 7-7 and are the 6th seed. And the Rams, after their miraculous victory against the juggernaut that is Washington, the Rams are in the 7th seed of the playoffs. What are you thinking about these seeds in the NFC?
Hey, man, I think right now, honestly, everybody but the Vikings should be there. I'm not really sold on the Vikings. I don't know why. Maybe because they're just so up and down. I don't know, Sean. Are you sold on the Vikings?
No, because it goes back to last week's game. If anybody that had to watch that that surgery, that just surgical ice, it was terrible.
Yeah,
3-0, really? And see, and look, and I gotta talk to you about your team, your second team, the daggone Raiders. First, you don't put no points up. Then you put up 35 and a half. You put
all the points up the next week. Which I'm betting against you because I'm like, oh man, the Raiders are trash. They couldn't even score, and then you just blow them out.
I'm like, come on now. So yeah, it's ridiculous, man. But yeah. I don't think the Vikes can do it. I'm actually very impressed with the Rams on this list.
Yeah. But they've been playing. Like, even the Rams look like a different team right now. They've been playing some ball.
Yo, Cooper Kupp healthy, Puka Nacua healthy, Matt Stafford, and they looked really good against a stout Washington defense yesterday.
But I think that Stafford is playing better ball than he's been playing.
Yep.
I just think that right now, if I'm looking at the NFC side, the Vikings are the ones I'm really skeptical about. I feel like it could be anybody in that seed. But, I mean, like we said, right now for the NFC, it's pretty much an open game.
Yeah. Outside of those top 3 picks and with San Francisco, Dallas, or Philly and Dallas, obviously you got the winner of the South, which right now, I mean, the Buccaneers are the best of, that division, but I don't know what that's really saying about that division. Yeah, because when they come up to y'all, we know what's going to happen. So But yeah, I'm with you on that Minnesota one. Let's go down and look and see who is on the bubble. The Saints, who are second in the NFC South at 7-7. Seattle, who is playing in this game right now. This game is a must-win for them. They are currently down, I believe, 10-3, and they're on the bubble. And the Atlanta Falcons, Janae, they're on the bubble. And I want to shout out our guy, Mr. Fingers, Mr. Anthony Handy. I made a bet with him last week on his on the round table that he said if the Falcons make the playoffs, my man would do 50 Army push-ups live on air. I said, now if they don't make the playoffs, I have to go on air eating a sub and drinking a beverage and saying Anthony is the greatest sportscaster and knows everything about every sport.
I love this bet. This bet. That's going to be a beautiful bet.
Oh, yeah. So we're going to see. We definitely going to see. But Scott, Scott, NFC South is kind of, you got a 6-8 team. You got 2 7-7 teams. And then you got the Panthers. So, yeah, we'll see. Let's go. Any of these teams, the Saints, Seahawks, Falcons, you think they can move up? You think they'll take the Vikings spot?
I don't know, man. It's a flip of the coin. That's why I said Saints and Seahawks. I don't think that the Falcons, I don't think they're going to do it. After they just lost to Carolina, I'm like, really? And I definitely picked Atlanta to win that game. I don't know what happened. I think the Saints and the Seahawks is like a flip of the coin. It's literally going to come down to these last 3 games.
Yeah, and the Falcons, they didn't even score a touchdown. Like it's not good. It's not good. Rams will beat the Saints. Okay, we'll see.
Confidence. I love it.
I love the letter. All right, let's go into the AFC. Like I said, the Ravens are the only team that have clinched a berth. Janae's next opponent, the Miami Dolphins, although maybe they don't. We will see if they have Tyreek Hill, but they have an explosive offense. They are playing the Cowboys next. They are the 2 seed. The Chiefs at 9-5. Even though they're the first in the AFC West, they are the 3 seed in unfamiliar territory. And the Jacksonville Jaguars, even though they just lost to the Ravens, they are 8-6 in the 4 seed. You look at these 4 division leaders, you think that's pretty much what we're going to see in the playoffs?
I don't know, man. If the Bills keep playing like they've been playing, they could make their way in.
That's it. Yep. I really want to see if the Bills can outlast them. But
Miami would have to
I'm about to say.
Miami would have to crumble. And the thing is, they did that without Tyreek. They won in great fashion yesterday without Tyreek. So I don't know. I know the Bills are going to be in it, but the way they played yesterday, I think that we sleeping on them.
They're too inconsistent. They're too inconsistent. I wanted to go to this. What's up, Scott? The Chiefs, they're 9-5, and they're struggling. But I feel like every time this year we're saying the Chiefs are struggling, and then they somehow turn it on.
And they get in the Super Bowl.
But what I will say is I've never seen Patrick Mahomes have that kind of tirade and reaction like he had in that last game. So are they coming unglued over there?
I think that was not a Mahomes-esque kind of thing that happened. But I will also say you got to control yourself, man. Yep. He was offsides. Regardless if they call it one time, if they give you a warning, whatever, it was offsides. So you can't just let it go. And then that play was actually called before the miracle. Kelsey throw for Tony to score. That was called immediately, right? Yeah, so for you to be throwing your helmet, the team holding you back like you're going to attack the ref, I just think it was too dramatic, too much. And it is what it is. The call was made. Get over it. It's just y'all been, and I know they were saying that it was been, the inconsistencies. Things have happened. Drop passes, all of that. It happens. It may have been the boiling point, but you ain't going to attack no ref for a call that he made that was a right call.
Exactly. And see, that's my issue with that whole situation, his reaction and how he went in, because it wasn't like that was the last play of the game. He had a couple plays later where he could have gotten it done. That just seems like the reaction of a team like my team. Like, you stole a victory from us, because we don't have anything else, not from the defending Super Bowl champions.
Yeah.
Unless maybe they're kind of the new New England Patriots and he's the new Tom Brady. We're gonna see, but I think my biggest thing about that call is if you actually look at it, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, a lot of them, when they think the flag is on the defense for being offsides, they rush it really quick and they run that play. Because if you look at the play, it was Kelsey caught it and all of a sudden he's flinging it. Yep. That's not something you teach the players.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? It was a great play because of how how just ingenious it was. Oh my goodness, look what he was doing. But at the same time, it's like, dude, you kind of think you thought it was offsides on them, and then they turned it around on y'all. So
absolutely. If it was reversed, he wouldn't even have said nothing. So
exactly,
it happens. It's gonna be either any team, anytime. It happens. Gotta get over with it.
Absolutely. Jacksonville in the 4 seed. Yes, we know they got a loss, but they are still the best of the South. But somebody is nipping on their heels. We're going to talk about that. The 5th seed, the 9-5 Browns, who survived the Chicago Bears yesterday, getting the W. The 6th seed is... Huh?
Flacco.
Oh, Yo, Joe Flacco getting in this game, doing what he's doing, man. And you love
2 wins in a row, Sean. 2 wins in a row.
You love to see it from a guy like this, man.
I love it.
He was just like, I'm just so glad to be here on the field playing again. This guy was a Super Bowl MVP, and now he looks like a dad. That's just like, I'm just glad to have one more day. Yo, shout out to him, man. Because look, the Browns are still in the hunt. Much needed victory yesterday, as we see they're in the 5th seed, and anything could happen with how things have gone this year. Another team with a backup quarterback, as we know, Burrow is out, so the Bengals, who are 8-6, are still in the hunt, and they're in it. And then you have the Colts, who are still somehow getting it done, also 8-6. The number 2 team in the South. And
so those are our wild card picks. So those are the wild card as of right now.
These are the 3 wild card spots right now. So what you thinking? You thinking these teams are going to stay put?
Yeah, I do. I do think that all 3 of these teams, now that Flacco's in for the Browns, I think that at first I thought it wasn't going to be nothing, but yeah, Flacco's been playing. The Bengals, oh, God.
That's what I want to see. Can Cincinnati keep going with Browning? I know he's been good as of late, but can they sustain that, especially
so people get that tape on them?
Yeah. But look at these 3 last teams, though. Yeah. You got the Browns, the Bengals, and the Colts, led by quarterbacks Joe Flacco, Browning, and Gardner Minshew. I mean,
it's the reign of the backups, man. The reign of the backups been killing it.
I love to see that, though. These guys getting the opportunity, taking the best of their opportunity. Let's see.
Let's go.
I like this. All right, let's see who is on the bubble. The Texans at 8-6, and there's a 3-way tie in that AFC South. If you remember correctly, I predicted they would all make to the playoffs, so we'll see.
We'll
definitely see. The Bills at 8-6, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, and then the Steelers and the Broncos at 7-7. Can any of these teams down here come back, make a resurgence?
I think everybody but the Steelers. I think all the teams that you mentioned, in my opinion, could have any given Sunday games, and because they're all they've all been winning. I think the Steelers, with their last win, they've been struggling, and I don't see the Steelers making it. I just don't. Sad face, but I just don't.
My issue is with them is just that offense can't seem to produce points. I mean, Mitchell Trubisky, Kenny Pickett. Now they're going to start Mason Rudolph. The offense has been struggling all year long. They finally got over 400 yards passing, or 400 yards total offense or something, and they still score only 16 points a couple weeks back. So, I just don't have much faith in anything on Pittsburgh outside the defense. And Janae, rumors are coming out that Tomlin is headed out. Like, is that for real? Like,
honestly, I think that is the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. Stupidest thing I've ever heard. You gotta, your quarterback gets hurt. You're trying to do everything that you can to rebuild. It's like people don't even know what a rebuild season is anymore. Like they should have got rid of Big Ben years ago. Years ago. And then you kept him, and now you're working with the home kid. It's trial and error. It's trial and error. The defense is the only thing that's really holding them, together. And the defense, he's a defensive coach.
Yeah.
And we're talking about a man who's been playing all these seasons and not one losing season. It's hard to find. If you're going to get rid of Tomlin, another team will take him in a heartbeat. Washington will take him in a heartbeat.
He's on our projected list of coaches we're looking at.
He's a great coach.
We've been interviewing. Yes.
That culture, that toughness, man.
Come to Washington. Come to Washington, my friend. Please.
No, don't.
Please. Yo. So I honestly I feel the same way about you. Honestly, for me, also is Buffalo. I look at yesterday's game and I'm like, this is the Buffalo that everybody's feared. This is the Buffalo that we thought was going to go to the Super Bowl. And then I look at games where they've played before, and you're just like, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And albeit Denver, some of these teams they're good teams that they're losing to, but still they're doing things to destroy themselves. So
relying too much on Jay Allen when they could literally be using the cook. I mean, this is something, like I said, 3 games that they've done in 14 games using like this. Yeah. You're trying to make Josh do everything.
Right.
You need a balance. He said he got an A, getting a group project. I got an A and I didn't do a lot of work.
Right.
That's where it needs to be. They were lights out yesterday, and they didn't need to beat their quarterback down to run it down and hurt himself and, destroy him. They did it.
And see, that's the thing. You got to do that.
Yes.
One of the best things that I think they did was they did that read option with Allen, and he handed the ball off to Cook, and then he would still run. So then you have to respect him as a runner. They used him as a decoy. But to the point, he didn't have 100 yards passing, and yet they still won by so much because he was able to manage the offense.
Absolutely.
He had to be that guy. So, yeah.
We will see, but you're right. It's all up in the air. Tomlin, oh, man. Oh, my God. And that would be crazy. That would be crazy.
Yep.
But we'll see. We will see.
God said Tomlin to Carolina. Ooh.
Any team would take him. I mean,
that's true.
Any team. You let him go, man, any team would take him.
Yeah. Yeah, they use Cook. That's what we were saying. They use Cook a lot so that Allen didn't have to do much.
They didn't exactly. And if they run with that game plan, there should be no, Josh Allen did too much and all this stuff. Do what you did yesterday.
Right.
You dominated Dallas by just pounding the rock every play. That's the key. That's the key for the Bills.
Oh, absolutely. Speaking of playoffs, something I know my partner will get excited about. The Seattle Seahawks have just scored a touchdown, and they are 1 extra point away from tying this thing up. Kenneth Walker with about a 25-yard run. Oh, man, he ran all around the Eagles' defense.
Oh, Sean. Oh, Shawnee boy.
It ain't over yet. All right?
What would they say now? What would they say, Sean, if the Seahawks won that game? What would they say?
Oh, we almost beat the Seahawks, so I would like to.